Let's eat.
Okay. Great.
And do I go right into the camera?
Yeah.
Let's eat.
I was so excited when Nicolas Cage was cast
I'm the Prince of Malaysia.
because he's doing such wonderful work through his lifetime.
Some call me the Dark One.
He's an iconic actor.
Others, the Lord of Death.
When I first saw Cage in the getup, I definitely got the chills. He is very scary.
We all stand up a little bit straighter and hold our breath a little bit tighter when he's on set. But I think that so much of it is that this role has been a dream of his for such a long time.
He's perfectly cast. You watch people like that and they're able to do everything to the highest level.
No matter what role he plays, he makes the role his own. It makes it easy for the fellow actors. They are dealing with Dracula. They're not dealing with Nicolas Cage.
It's the real fucking Dracula!
I like any movie that invites the realm of fantasy or magic. And I like anything that stimulates my imagination. The vampire movies are wonderful to stimulate my imagination, and so I always have been a fan.
Dracula's a work of art. He dresses like he's a work of art. He moves like he's a work of art.
In our very first meeting, he was already getting into the type of voice and the body movement and just the true physicality.
He had put a tremendous amount of work into this character. The level of care and effort that he puts in is staggering.
When you see cobras, they try to seduce you, and they try to hypnotize you by moving like that, and then they go like that. I wanted Dracula to have some of that. From the very early age of 4 or 5, my father would play silent films, and one of them was Nosferatu with Max Schreck. When you see that movie when you're 5, in black and white, with him doing those crazy things with his eyes and his fingers, that leaves an indelible impression. It doesn't go away. There's a moment where the sunlight comes in, and I was looking at Schreck at the end of Nosferatu, and he goes like this. I'll quickly go like this, and then I won't turn all the way around. So it's like, pull it. This, here.
Ready, and action, and now!
And so with this movie, I wanted to bring a little bit of my appreciation of the effect his performance had on me, that flavor, but also my father. My father, in his own right, was a strong presence, a very elegant man who spoke with a mid-Atlantic accent. And so I thought, well, Dad would be a pretty good model for this character.
Hello, Mr. Dracula.
The pleasure is all mine. The performances that I love with Dracula were definitely, in Uncle's movie, Gary Oldman's performance was a knockout because he brought the vulnerability. Langella, I thought, was terrific because he brought a light touch, a light charm that I thought was unique for this character. Bela Lugosi, of course, he was very handsome and he had a cadence to his manner of speaking that I think really went into the psyche of our consciousness around the world. But the one that I think is the most similar for me, partially because my father looked so much like him, there is a striking family resemblance for some reason or other to Christopher Lee. It's the one that seemed to be the most easy and fluid and natural to fall into. Please, come in.
In scenes with him, it's just incredibly fun to watch where he's taking interpretation from as well, whether it's Nosferatu and kind of the physical interpretation of Dracula, and Bancroft in The Graduate is one of the things that he's looking at times.
Because of this toxic relationship that Renfield and Dracula have in this movie, I was thinking about the relationship that Anne Bancroft's character had with Dustin Hoffman in The Graduate, and so her voice started coming into my mind. Marvelous attire. You look like the sort of boy who has to fight them off.
Nick has been so committed and really turned up ready to play, and it's just wonderful to watch all the nuances and the things that he bring to the character.
Renfield's boss!
But also, it's uniquely me. Whatever I'm absorbing and receiving from these other influences, but then filtering it through my own instrument, and hopefully it'll be something new and different. I am Dracula.
You know when something crazy happens and someone's like,
I'm so sorry you had to see that. And the other person's like, it's okay, I've seen way worse. Everything I saw you do today is gonna be my way worse.
The fight scenes in this movie are so well done. The stunt department, we're going for a martial arts infusion into the Dracula world.
I mean, it is like every element of the stunt world all comprised into this movie. And it's really exciting when you get actors that want to put that effort in. Right now we are in the stunt gym. This is where we do all of our rehearsals and train the actors for all the action pieces.
I'm up here. Right.
It's probably up there with some of the most incredible stunt work I've ever done. So I came down a few months before we started shooting, and I could really jump in and try and learn all these fight sequences and parkour-y sort of moves.
This is the first time where I really have to know my choreography or we can hurt each other. It's so funny, the first time I was doing stuff, I'm making the sound effects because when you're a kid, you're like,
I've been in a couple other action movies, but this one, it's definitely been a stunt action boot camp for me.
We've spent months preparing for every piece of action. We've choreographed every movement. Now, everybody is ready to perform.
Ready and action!
We are in Mulots. This is where it gets fun. To show Renfield's strength, we amplify it with wire gags.
3, 2, 1, go!
Renfield, when he eats a bug, he might get faster and slightly stronger and all these things, but he's not necessarily a trained martial artist, so it's still kind of scrappy how he fights. Luckily, we've got an incredible team who does the dangerous stuff and brings the character to life in a different way.
Go!
Aquafina, when we first started with her, she was very new to fight choreography and holding a gun. But week by week, you just saw everything change. It was great to watch her become Rebecca in front of everybody's eyes.
Cool.
That looks pretty fucking cool. Awesome.
Nice.
Right now we're getting ready for the fight choreography of Renfield's exterior apartment sequence.
3, 2, 1!
Because Renfield gets to eat a bug in this scene, get superhuman powers, he can actually traverse floors.
Oh, that son of a bitch can fly.
It's fun because I think the action is fast, it's big, and it's very specific as well, including ripping off limbs.
I'm ripping people's arms off, attacking them with their limbs.
We've been doing some wire work. I jumped from the 3rd floor onto Bryce's body and crushed him.
First time for me. Have you done that?
No, have not.
We are setting up for the Apache Joe head. It'll be crashing through the window.
Apache Joe, that's the kind of situation that we would normally say, okay, let's shoot over the shoulder and have a stunt double do it because he has to hit a perfect target in a very specific moment, and if anything is off, it's gonna ruin the shot.
We're gonna hit our button, get his hands up here,
Okay.
and boom, and it's gone.
That's what we're getting ready to do. I'm going to punch someone's head off tonight, and it's going to go flying out of that window.
It's a lot of drilling it and making sure the timing's right, because we've really only got one take at doing that.
Something like that?
Those rigs take a long time to set up and the blood to clean up. Weirdly, I get quite nervous doing it because I'm like, I don't want to be the reason that this doesn't work.
Ready, and 3, 2, 1!
I've got a video of it that someone took on their phone or something, and I do just hit it right as it goes, which I don't think I was meant to hit it, but I've never punched a head off before. One thing off the bucket list.
Oh, shit! Shit!
Today we're actually in one of the final action scenes of the movie. We are currently in what used to be an old bank that they've turned into this kind of douchebag plaza.
In this fight, there are over 10 wire gags from hand pulls to ratchets. We've got their stunt doubles flying through the air. It's It's just a massive, epic fight scene.
Shotgun. Bam, John Wayne fucking style.
What the fuck? I really wanted to sell it. I didn't want to look like a person that has a comedy background that just got thrown in there. So to be led by Brewster, it's been a joy. Man, do I get my ass kicked in this movie.
We're at the Lobo compound. I'm about to punch your guts out. The very last moment of me getting killed by this beautiful gentleman. I tried. Oh, great, Nick.
Wait, watch this one.
Working with the actors, it's an evolving process.
Big smiles right in the camera.
But ultimately, every frame came together in such a miraculous way. There are so many sequences that I really can't pick a favorite. It was a proper sprint, but it definitely paid off.
Let's eat.
Please, please.
Doing a film like Renfield is no small feat. We're doing a lot of blood, a lot of gore.
You know, I think Chris's taste is more violent than mine, but then again, he's doing this in a comedic way, so it's like an uber violence that goes to such a zone where you can't help but be shocked.
I mean, you know, it's a horror action movie, and that's something that Chris McKay really wanted to lean into.
I've come off a lot of movies where we work a lot with like green screen and things like that, but then on this one, the things that you think would maybe be green screen or special effects are just practical.
It's amazing to be around people that are at the top of their game. It's been awesome to watch all of it and be a part of it.
We had a great team at Tinsley Studio working effortlessly on putting the sculptures and the molds together. And then we had another team in New Orleans here bringing it to life on camera.
Christian Tinsley's built arms that can be ripped off and spurt blood, which is really, I think it's really fun.
You literally just see decapitated arms. They're like, be careful, this one's still wet, and it's like, that's so disgusting.
We ended up installing the blood rig into the arms that Renfield would be holding. With very little movement and pressure, the air pushes through the arms, so you get this glorious splash of blood everywhere.
I'm about to rip these arms off. Just a typical Tuesday.
Ready, and 3, 2, 1, go!
All right, guys, try not to walk through the blood, please. Let's get everybody in here, clean up on aisle 1.
Watching that apartment fight on set, there's some fun you can have, like when the guy gets his face ripped off. Let's see that, you know, with huge gushes of blood spraying out.
Renfield rips his face off, and blood pours down the top of this. Penny screams.
3, 2, 1, go!
As much blood was used in this movie as there was water to make Titanic.
In this film, there is Dracula blood, and then there are victim bloods. Victim bloods tend to be more in the red tones, and Dracula blood tends to be darker, a little bit more syrupy. In testing, what we did is we placed about 20 different shades of blood in front of a camera, and we see which colors actually work. We ended up picking 2 colors, one for Dracula and one for the victims, and that's what we went with.
Oh, shit!
There's something like kung fu hustly about the way that this movie looks at the kind of the destruction of the human body.
Punching heads off a lot of the time in movies, that would be a digital effect, but Christian Tinsley's special effects makeup branch have done an incredible job of making all that stuff practical.
What we did is we built a body that has a blood cannon up through the center of it that ends at the neck where the head gets severed. Upon impact, the blood pump blows about 2 gallons of blood into the air.
The head's gonna get pulled off straight through that window, and a good amount of blood's gonna fly out the top of his neck.
10 billion gallons of blood come shooting out, and we just stand back and watch the excitement.
3, 2, 1, go!
When I see how hard people work to provide the illusion of the gore, it's magic.
It's quite a treat seeing my own head get knocked off, see exactly how far my head can go.
We also have this wonderfully gory effect. Dracula disappears into the priest, and of course there's only one place to go if Dracula's inside your body. To make this happen, we started by scanning the priest with his wardrobe, creating a series of molds that we could create these hollow shells of the priest. We filled the priest with about 10 gallons of blood. The special effects team lines the inside with det cord, which blows up and expands, and then drop little explosives into the bags of blood within. So you're getting this explosion concussion effect. And then, of course, visual effects will make it seamless between the live action and the explosion, giving this wonderful, wonderful bloody mess.
3, 2, 1, go!
It's always fun to do those types of effects in front of a crew because most of them haven't seen all the testing leading up to it. And so you get this wonderful moment where there's blood everywhere. And it's always great when the effect goes off as planned.
Christian Tinsley, I've really loved seeing how he's embracing the humor and the absurdity of what's going on in this film.
He's bringing this aspect of just like anything goes. I think this is definitely an anything goes movie.
This is his business, and he's been a pleasure to work with.
Master, you okay?
No. Dracula's been horribly disfigured through the power of drinking blood, pure blood, hopefully. He's being rejuvenated and coming back to his complete supernatural self.
Master! Oh, Jesus. It's great to see over the course of the movie him go from this barbecued state up to his full Dracula glory.
But it's a long and arduous and hideous process, starting with the most grotesque and then slowly grooving back into when we see the character at the end.
There was a lot of discussion that went into how fucked up Dracula's face should be, how much bone, how much flesh, how much blood.
Dracula goes through 4 different sort of evolutionary stages. His Picasso look is this human being that's growing back together and trying to reconstruct the body. We break a lot of the rules of the human anatomy. His jawbone is moved over and slightly dislocated. His ears are off center by about 2 inches on either side of the head. We're seeing layers of skin, veins, fatty tissue, muscle tissue, skulls and bones. We're doing this makeup on Nicolas Cage. He's 100% covered. You would normally find a suit performer to do this type of performance, and then as you start to expose a little bit more of the humanity, you start getting into your actor. But Nick Cage was such a fan of becoming Dracula that he really wanted to be a part of every process.
My face is completely covered, but it's helping a lot in terms of working from the outside in terms of performance.
He goes through about a 4-hour makeup to become Picasso, and then has to, of course, do his day, and then there's the removal time. So he's really in this makeup for 14, 15 hours easily.
Nick Cage, with half his face coming off and still delivering a scene in all earnestness and seriousness, is kind of magic.
It's a purity. It alone will bring me back to full power.
They just started building out on, you know, what would it look like to go from Picasso to then the next stage where he's continuing to heal. And there's just such a level to detail, just like the wetness to his skin. There's these cool little pockets of deformities.
Why am I not embracing what I truly am?
Which is?
A god, Renfield.
When we see Dracula at the Coda meeting and we see Dracula in Renfield's apartment, that is probably one of my favorite looks for him because it bridges the gap between where he's come from, where he's going, and we had some wonderful Nicolas Cage moments.
Everyone you care about will suffer because of you. Because you betrayed me.
and then we are allowed to sort of rediscover his growth back into becoming the sort of handsome Dracula. And we stuck with the widow's peak, the warmer lip tones, the darker eye sockets. Nick Cage has this wonderful ability to raise his brows, so we benefited from being able to enhance his brow features.
For half a millennium, I've seen only weakness in the hearts of men. And then I looked into yours.
One of the things that I discussed early on was, of course, the vampire teeth. We were able to play with both his smile and then embody sort of classic vampirism Dracula feels with the longer fangs.
Maybe I should put the teeth in. I have them.
Do you?
Yeah.
This was the first project that I've ever had a 3D printer in the makeup trailer creating product as we were working through production. What we did was create all of Dracula's dentures as well as his nails. So it started by taking scans of Nicholas's face and his hands and his teeth and designing all of his teeth and his nails through a digital program. There's always a certain speech impairment that happens when you're wearing dentures, and we were able to make adjustments very quickly to alter the designs.
And we would literally see them and be like, okay, like, you know what, those are too wide, or these are too close together, or this is too long. Sometimes you wouldn't be able to tell until it was actually in Nick Cage's mouth. You'd be able to see, like, oh, okay, you know what, with the shape of his face, it doesn't actually work. And Christian Sinsley was always 2 to 3 steps ahead, where we'd be like, oh, he's like, yep, I knew that, how about this? And we're like, oh, that's perfect.
It allowed us a lot of freedoms to explore concept, build prototypes, and then get to finished product much faster.
You can't take my teeth.
Christian has brought something that is compelling and oddly real and magical at the same time. Hopefully these two elements, the external and the internal, will collide in such a way that this one will be one of the memorable Draculas.
It's been drawings, it's been paintings, it's been sculpture and clay, it's been these inanimate pieces of rubber that really mean nothing until you start to piece it all together. And then once you get somebody like Nicolas Cage, who does what he does, which is so fantastic.
Hail Satan!
It's really that wonderful moment of not only it worked, it's a little bit of a brow sweep like we did it, it's also that very gratifying moment that it's alive.
Hail Satan!
You must really not be from around here, because we certainly don't see your kind very often.
Sorry, what kind is that?
Heroes.
Renfield in that moment has just met Rebecca for the first time. This big shift and light bulb has gone off in his mind.
Renfield is filled with a kind of joy he's never felt before. The world around him becomes heightened.
That moment for that character was so powerful, you had to go someplace different with the film.
What starts out as a slight pep in his step suddenly becomes a full-on dance number.
What was the prep like today?
I hadn't rehearsed this, I'm just doing it improv on the day. To be honest with you, I feel it, and I do it.
Percussion! Music man! Do cameras, see Margaret?
We did do a lot of choreography work, which I did a little bit of dancing when I was a kid, but I can't say that I ever was good at it.
6, 7, and 1, 2, 4, 6, 7.
Nicholas Holt got ballet as a kid, but I think was a little timid in this process, but has been working his ass off and doing such a good job.
5, 6, 7.
It's cute because he always wants me to count him in. He's like, if you're not counting, I don't know what I'm doing.
One by yourself. Okay. You got it. Straight away. Straight away.
Kat's just got a brilliant eye for developing sequences like that are complete fantasy and ridiculous, but also very funny.
The movement kind of is inspired by how Nick naturally moves. One of our first sessions, he was like, this is how my friends and I enter a party. We call it the Mick Jagger. Do your while out, Mick Jagger. You know, McKay was really open to like letting me play and find it in rehearsal. We had a skeleton crew, so I was able to like kind of pitch some moments and making sure we're heightening the story and that his love and his movement is growing. We have some jazz dancers, we have some acrobatics.
We had dancers from all over the country. We were able to dress them with a fun New Orleans vibe and all the sparkle and all the tones and the colors that you see on the streets here. And then out of the woodwork came all the bugs.
That's really funny. It's like roaches come in and maybe they're breakdancing, and then these flies are like also ballerinas. Like they also have this like beautiful quality to their movement. And I was like, amazing!
We dressed flies, cockroaches, and the cutest maggot you've ever seen. It was supposed to be 2 maggots. They were made in the Netherlands, and only 1 maggot showed on DHL. Somewhere in the world, there is a large box storing 1 maggot. Somebody might get that years from now.
In designing the fantasy dance sequence, we decided to utilize some local artists. The flowers behind us are sort of split between half of them that we commissioned for this particularly and half of them that are traditional Mardi Gras flowers. And as you can see in the lights, the transition from warm white and amber to, as you get to the end, they're all the Mardi Gras colors, gold, green, and purple. So you really have a sort of a heightening of theatricality as you move down with him in the sequence.
It feels quite magical now, very beautifully lit. Visually, when you watch it on screen now, you're like, oh, yeah, this is a good fantasy sequence, whereas when we were shooting on our iPhones in a normal alleyway during daytime, it looked a little bit like a nearing middle-aged man prancing down an alleyway.